o'clock.
Thunderbolt.
8 o'clock. Let's
Should
go
we
do
put
a
on a
show.
show? You guys want to do a show?
Let's go do a play.
To life.
Let's go do this. I'm gonna go stand on exit stage right over here by Noah. Please skip out to go. Check your block.
Eli has
You
herpes.
going the other way? You going the other way, Eli? You gonna come out the other way or no?
From me.
Your back is open.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Just
zip.
one way.
I feel like
That's the wrong
No.
show.
Eli. Eli.
Nope.
No.
We're just doing the show.
No.
We're doing the show.
No, that was yesterday. That's the
I think everyone here would like to hear the Jean-Benet Ramsey episode.
no.
This one's being recorded, Eli.
No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do the Jean-Benet. I just wanted to wear a costume. Let me tell you, you have not had a more discouraging pep talk with your adult coworkers when they've been like, didn't you wear that to yesterday's show? And you were like, yeah, but I want to wear it again. I want them to laugh and applaud.
Did you? Eli,
Cheeky.
do you have real clothes too? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Don't awe. Don't awe.
Don't encourage him.
That man should wear clothes. Different clothes.
Chicago Fire Department, Eli Bosnick speaking. Oh, there's a fire. Cool. Where at? Ooh, State and Lake. Okay, one question. Sorry, I know you're in a rush. How big is it? One city block. That's actually not what I meant. I mean, does it look hot? No fire is hot, dum-dum. I'm just asking if, like, it looks like when I'm near it, if I'll be hot. See, I'm wearing these rubber pants and they get uncomfortable, but if it's... Okay, that sounds unpleasant. Okay, one more question. Sorry, I know. Is there a bathroom nearby? Well, when I run the hose, I have to go a lot and I don't want to have to get back in the truck and come all the way back here. So if there's like a well, maybe I can work something out with the Starbucks across the street then. Oh, I just remembered. Is there like a doggy park near the fire? Well, because Madge is our fire pug, and I just wanted to make sure she has enough room to scamper, while we're... Okay, well, how about a dog run then? Fenced off area? Honestly, I think we're going to have to pass then. Yeah, I know, I'm upset too. I just don't think I can help you. We'll let another station take care of it. Well, am I the first place you called? Shop around a little, Jesus.
Hey, Eli, who was that?
Nobody.
Thanks for coming tonight, everybody. That's the show.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Citation Needed live in Chicago.
Wow.
As you may know, this is the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts because this is the internet and that's how it works now. This isn't really the internet, by the way. This is live, just in case. This is just the line. I'm No Illusions. I'm going to be dumping sand and baking soda on this grease fire of an episode in a desperate attempt to smother these guys and contain the damage. Joining me today, first of all, are two men who could supply all of colonial America with lamp oil if rendered, Heath and Eli.
Excellent. For me, it's more olive oil than lamp.
Okay.
So like, I'll just like, when I'm sweaty, I'll wipe myself off with extra bread, and that's like
That's a good plan.
my after meal snack right there.
Okay.
I get sweaty when I eat.
Hey, last people that tried to turn me into a lamp are in D.C. right now being given sympathetic think pieces by the New York Times. So yeah, I guess go for it. Try to turn me into a lamp 40 years from now. We'll ask whether or not people are too mean to you on the internet or something.
All right, so we made it 5 minutes before our first Holocaust joke. High five, high five. Good. Thank you, sir.
I get cookies after the show.
And also joining me tonight are two men who have blamed more than their fair share of sins on farm animals, Cecil and Tom.
I just want to point out two things. One, this crowd scream. Fucking this
Right.
guy.
That's
This
right.
guy.
God damn it.
Security. But I just want to point out two things. First is this crowd screams so loud they knocked the fucking lint off the fucking seat
Yes.
a few moments ago.
Yes.
That's number one. That's
God
number
damn.
one. Number two, what can I say? It was a heavy petting zoo.
I consider it something of an achievement turning a scapegoat into a fainting scapegoat. So, I had it coming.
All right, so before we really begin mocking the tragic history of this fine city, we need to pause for a moment of gratitude. Just because this is live doesn't mean we're not going to ask you for money. Your support.
More money.
Now, this is you guys in the theater and, of course, the patrons listening at home. You guys make this possible for realsies. It is more than a little incredible that we actually get to do this for a living, and we have you to thank for that. And if we didn't,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. Because
Thank
look,
you for your money.
and I mean, the other option is real jobs, and we're not qualified for those.
No.
So while we sit here on stage tonight, we know that we.
That's a job. That's a job.
No, it's a respectable
pretty well.
job.
That's in
It's
the
been
second
around for a
half.
long time too. So while we sit here on stage tonight, we know that we. Sorry, I didn't write this. We know that we
read it
only
ahead
have
of
the
time.
honor of entertaining you because you let us, and unlike some entertainers, we appreciate your consent, and some of us even require it. But don't worry, we'll be sure to send the traditional mix of thank you cards and apology flowers after the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Heath, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
Today, we're going to be talking about the first great Chicago fire. Yeah.
One.
Number one.
Yep.
Fire!
Yeah. And
I want-
relax. Relax.
I want Cheery Guy in row 2 to just do that for everything we say. Like, yeah! 240 deaths!
Wow.
Okay, now I'm scared. All right,
Yep.
that's it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, speaking of which, we're also going to try to keep Eli from starting the second one.
Yeah.
Most likely by shitting soy diesel and then like rubbing your thighs together too hard. whenever that happens with shit. Yeah. Spark it. You have dry thighs. Can I give you that note?
So, all right. And so, Tom, for some reason, we've entrusted you with writing the essay for the live show.
Bad call.
Yeah,
call.
no, we're.
I know.
All right. So
I know.
apparently, we'll look into that egregious administrative error privately after these guys aren't here. But are you ready to kick over this lamp and blame the Irish?
Noah blaming the Irish is how I start every morning.
Wait, Tom, aren't you Irish?
Oh, very much so.
All right. No, that explains a lot. Okay. All right.
Every 1 inch.
So, all right. So tell us, Tom, tell us all about that time that Chicago and great appeared next to each other in a sentence.
Fuck this.
Ouch.
Yes, boo him. Boo him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boo! I'm on their side. Boo! Boo! I'm on your side. Boo!
'Twas the great pizza war of 19... No. I will happily tell you, Noah, because that's what I wrote down. Happily, Noah.
Yep.
The Great Chicago Fire incinerated a little over 3 square miles of Chicago and burned from Sunday, October the 8th, to Tuesday, October the 10th in 1871. Edit that out, Cecil. It's fine. It's fine. They never heard it. Current estimates hold that same fire, if started today on the west side, could cause roughly dozens of dollars in damage. It's true. It's true. Add it up. Check your wallets.
So you know how it's sometimes better to like go with that let it burn policy for, wildfires in terms of long-term ecology? I feel like tonight shows a teachable moment for Rahm Emanuel. You know what I mean? It's like not the same when there's people. I need you to stop saying controlled burn, Rahm Emanuel.
They lit the West Side on fire today because the police were tired of shooting just individuals, and they decided on like a Dresden-style solution.
It's exhausting.
We're busy here, guys.
We got
We're doing a tour of the black site right afterwards.
It's a white audience. It's fine. Yeah. Oh, you are. Come on. Look at you.
There's one. Yes!
Woo! Security. Security.
No, diversity. Different word. Different word.
Diverse
There
security.
they are. In podcast terms, that is a blue wave. 2. No, that person's lying.
Can we
I can't
stop
see
pointing?
them.
Can we maybe not?
By the way,
point?
we're friends now. I'm not racist.
Yeah.
I got one. One of the most hotly contested subjects, get that, of this topic always relates to how the fire started.
Yep, just like our production meetings.
Yeah, true. The fire originated in or around a small barn belonging to the O'Leary family, and the most commonly held belief is that the fire was started by a cow, which is supposed to have kicked over a lantern.
Wait. Unless the cow's like a master of jump kicks, I think I'd blame this on bad lantern placement, right?
Fawn Claude Van Damme.
Shit tits.
Shit tits.
Now, the O'Leary family denied that the fire was started by their by their cow, and they claimed as evidence that the family was asleep when the fire began.
Okay, but unless somebody's fucking the cow, I don't see how that's an excuse.
Did we say nobody was fucking the cow? Did you read ahead in this? No? All right. This argument, when taken against the evidence that the O'Leary family were poor, were Irish, and were Catholic, did not convince the public.
Yeah, that actually tracks. I started a forest fire with my poor Irish friend when we were 6, and we super duper lied about it all the way. Made sure his dad was a firefighter. It was good. It was no good. Did they blame it on a different ethnic group in this case?
Jesus.
We super duper did that too. We were assholes. The worst.
Well,
I used to be a racist, everybody. When I was 6.
Used to. That's good. Earlier this evening. So before the fire was even out, the newspapers were already circulating, blaming the O'Learys for their role in the conflagration, even though the reporter that wrote the story itself later retracted his claims and admitted to fabricating the whole thing.
Yeah, and the cow just followed him around going, fake moose. Moose.
Oh.
All right. Maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like the newspapers distributed before the fire was out would be really hard to read.
That's a
Right?
motivated newsie, though,
Yeah,
right? Extra, extra, please, it burns.
Another theory holds that the fire was actually started by the first guy who reported it, evidently presumed under the he who smelt it dealt it
Right.
theory. Now, in this one, the fire was started by, and I am not making this up, Daniel Pegleg Sullivan, right? Who's supposed to have accidentally started the fire by setting fire to hay while stealing milk.
No, I get it. He's milking the cow. He's letting his one leg rub against the stool, No, I can see it.
Okay, but now I want to really meet this out-of-work pirate talking about his plan for a new job. Like, all right, I'm really interested in fire and milk. What could I do with that?
The fire actually started because the stray sparks when he hot wired the cow. By the way, hot wiring a cow means something totally different in Indiana. It's a different
Evansville.
procedure. It's
Don't clap for that.
Yes.
Don't clap for
Yes.
that. This is on you now. Now, the theory that I'm betting on is the whole thing was started by a group of gamblers. This theory holds that a man named Lewis Cohn, his son, and some neighbor kids knocked over a lantern after Mrs. O'Leary chased them out of the barn while they were playing craps. Cohn is reported to have paused long enough to scoop up the money before fleeing. He also signed a confession, which he bequeathed to the Medill School of Journalism upon his death.
Craps in a barn? What the fuck? They're like, Horsey needs a new pair of shoes, guys.
Wait, he bequeathed it upon his... And to the media I leave the truth. Like 40 years too late. You're welcome, Jews.
All right. We have to move on. Let's
We have
move
no
away from
choice. This is a double header.
Jesus Christ.
The most far-out theory is that the fire was started by a meteor shower. A physicist, Robert Wood, suggested that a comet known as Biela's Comet broke up over the Midwest. And eyewitnesses reported seeing balls of fire in the sky that day, and fires did break out in 4 other places in the Midwest. And while this might sound plausible at first, it isn't. There's some science stuff about the composition of meteors and the gases in them and the plausibility of methane as a source for these fires, but most experts agree this is all just a lot of hot air.
Hot air. I get it.
I'm
Yeah.
as embarrassed as you are right now.
So, shit tits. So, yeah, the long and short of all that sciencey stuff, by the way, is that meteors don't start fucking fires. So this is ever so slightly more plausible than the Eli farted into a wormhole and lit it theory. But yeah, might as well give it its due.
Okay, Noah, if you want to accuse me of what happened to the couch, just do it. But I have told my side of the story. Your cat has told his side of the story. I leave it in your hands.
All right, so there's no general consensus about how the fire started, but no matter how it got going, it fucked things up pretty thoroughly. Now, building fires in crowded cities are obviously never good news, but at this point in Chicago, there really wasn't a possibility for worse news because Chicago had evidently not gotten the memo from the 3 Little Pigs, and they built the whole fucking city out of wood. The whole thing. And then they roofed the place with match heads. Like, seriously. Like, 2/3 of all the structures were made not partly, but entirely out of wood. And most of the buildings were then topped with tar.
Lots of those buildings actually fell faster than gravity.
That happened.
So, and tar does not burn that hot. What really happened, Jewish people?
Pivoting off that, all those Jewish cows were out to pasture that day too.
Yeah.
I will
Look
point
into
out.
it, sheeple.
Yeah.
Jew.
Oh, God.
I'll allow it.
And if that's not bad enough, they built the sidewalks out of wood. They built the roads out of wood.
What?
Prompting Chicago's first official city motto as the Strike Anywhere City.
So yeah, we normally do the foundations with concrete, but I do have all these balled up newspapers.
Good call. It's a good call.
Maybe we use them first. Go green.
Y'all sure they don't make flammable clouds? All right, shit, we'll go with roads then.
Admittedly, though, a wooden road would have fewer potholes than Ashland Avenue.
That's true.
Smooth as silk. Chicagoans got that joke.
Towny jokes.
Now, compounding the problem of constructing a city out of gasoline-soaked Lincoln logs, the city was also in the midst of a drought, having received only 1 inch of rain from July 4th to October 9th. And the day had strong southwesterly winds, which would help blow flaming embers into the very heart of the city.
Wow. It's too bad the people in our episodes, like all the other ones, they didn't get together because this would have been great for like a whole shitload of molasses to just flood Chicago.
Right? Yes.
Like, that would have been great.
Yes.
Being ridden by T-Midge like the rocket from Dr. Strangelove. He's just going to town with a vibrator. That's just always fun.
You're right.
Bunch of cocaine, always fun as well.
Yeah.
A race riot breaks out like until no. It's
going south.
You're
gonna lose us our 2.
Maybe a family gets away with killing John
Benet.
No. No, pass. All right, so still the city might have been okay, or less like apocalyptically not okay. if the night watchman, Matthias Schaefer, hadn't sent the city's firefighters to the wrong location.
For fuck's sake. I meant my left. Damn. Shit.
Okay, that's bad. But also if the fire alarm where the actual firefighters were hadn't failed to register. And if the firefighters themselves weren't exhausted from putting out other fires all over the city for the whole week before.
Yeah, and the previous week they posted the plans for 3D printed fire on the internet.
It's bad.
Just
Okay,
Everybody
but to
at
be
it.
fair to firefighters, that is definitely supposed to be a sometimes job. And back then, they did not have car accidents to stand around doing nothing. So, like, I brought a giant truck to make traffic worse. Boo firefighters.
Are we con firefighters on this
I only have
podcast?
to care about firefighters in one city. 9/11.
When these heroes, thank you, finally arrived on the scene, the fire had grown from being a small fire confined to a barn to a fire that had spread to the other buildings nearby and which was rapidly approaching the central business district.
Okay, I get what you're trying to do, Tom, but these ones weren't heroes. Okay, the ones in this story were not
Fair
heroes.
enough. That's fair.
I love that like it's rapidly approaching the center of the city. Cecil's going to take care of that in post. Don't worry, guys. which is only a couple of blocks away from a cow in a barn, right?
Different times.
the fire's coming towards the business district, and the business district's like averting its eyes, trying not to make contact. Like,
It's rolling down its window. Fire's like, let me talk to you for a second.
I already bought a copy of Streetwise.
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Come on, we make fun of them. They're poor. We can do this.
Now, firefighters at this point were hoping that the fire would just hit the Chicago River and it would also encounter, and I am not making this up, guys, a fire break caused by a burnt out area from a previous fire. So the actual strategy was, at this point, to just hope it burned everything up to the point where everything had already been burned up before. And then we would just be out of things to be on fire. Problem solved. Licked it.
Wow, that's a lot like Trump's Middle East policy. Right? Pretty similar. We just let that happen, just works itself out in payroll.
Admittedly, it's kind of a Chicago tradition, too, not to care about the blackened areas.
Woo!
Truth
Okay.
bomb.
But when I say it, it's a big deal.
Okay, wait, I know this is an old-timey story, but like the firefighters just didn't try. I know firefighter technology hasn't advanced past throw water at it ever. Feels like they would have given it a go. Like one guy's got a bucket and they're like, no, don't even.
All right, but okay, so for the record here, Tom, but you're saying here that eventually it'll run out of victim strategy did not work.
Oh, no. It very, very did not work. No. So, because the area along the river was basically a series of lumber yards and coal yards. For real. And warehouses presumably stocked with like sawdust and road flares. And then there were like wooden bridges spanning the river. Just over there now.
This whole fucking city's the third act of a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie or something, dude. Jesus.
So now the fire intensified and it became superheated, which means now that shit was so hot that things catch on fire not by contact with the actual flames, but from the radiant heat of the fire's proximity. That is not good news. No. Because now structures burst into flames. They sent their payload of fiery debris into the air, landing on roofs, and I shit you not, crossed the river and landed on the South Side Gas Works.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's going well.
Cersei Lannister just happened to store those hundreds of barrels of wildfire under there.
Danny's dragons fly over like, wow, that is irresponsible use of fire. Right? Also racist. Am I wrong? Feels racist.
You are not wrong. I was gonna say.
Right? Right? Thank you. Thank you. So, you want to go burn down
Go
Michigan?
burn down
Go
Michigan!
burn down Michigan! Yes! Burn
Wing
the
high
shit out
five.
of it.
We're
We are dragons.
All right, well, Tom, I'm sure on the other side of the river there won't be a perfect storm of endless incompetence and bad luck, so let's take a quick breather for a little something we like to call apropos of nothing.
Today we begin the construction of the glorious city, which will be just as great as New York.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Yes, sure.
Just exactly as good.
All right, so Sir Robert on the Roads Committee, what have you got planned?
Oh, well, gentlemen, as you are aware, tar has gotten ever more expensive. Therefore, we've laid down a foundation of gunpowder at a greatly reduced cost. It's going to be a smashing hit.
Excellent, excellent. And Mr. Feng Hua from Building and Construction.
Yes, so
Why don't you have an Asian accent,
There's
Mr.
no
Feng
reason
Hua?
for the character to be Asian at this point. Get out of the sketch.
You get out of the sketch.
You
I'm
do
in the
this
sketch.
all the time. It's
I was
embarrassing.
mumbling.
Anyway, the buildings are made of wood soaked in gasoline for that nice, shiny look.
Oh, I look good. They look good.
New York's way better than Chicago.
All right, and finally, Johnson from City Parks.
All right, gentlemen, hear me out. Dynamite trees.
Excellent idea. Why would we make them any other way?
I'm in the sketch.
All right. I think we all can agree that was awesome and none of us should feel ashamed of ourselves at all. So, Tom, I think you were telling us an uplifting story of the power of human spirit.
No, not even close.
Okay.
No. Nope. Everyone is now screwed.
Call back to our current political administration.
Right.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Call back to that.
The fire was now completely
You bummed everybody the fuck out, man. Thanks.
Boo.
Welcome to my world.
The fire was now completely, wildly out of control and was rapidly threatening the heart of the city. The mayor, Roswell B. Mason, I love that, I want to be a mayor in old-timey Chicago,
Right.
sent messages to nearby towns for help, and then he ordered the evacuation of the courthouse and the prisoners in the basement.
Yeah, because fire's scary, but it can't rape you. I mean, let's up the ante here a bit.
All right, so at 2:30 a.m., just 5 hours after starting in the barn, the cupola of the courthouse collapsed. I have no idea if I said that right. The great bell came down, and the cacophony could be heard a mile away.
Goodness gracious, great bells of fire.
Ouch.
Shit.
Yeah. I love all the groaners in the audience. You guys are my people.
It escalated so fast, though. Like, I want to see that pirate just like, oh, shit, don't light up the whole barn. Ah, God. Just don't cross the bridge to cross the river. Ah, shit. Shit. Don't light up the thermite ghetto. Damn it. Motherfucker, it hit the thermite ghetto. Why do we have a thermite ghetto? That was so stupid. Bad city planning. Ah, don't knock over the big bell. Ah, clang, clang. Ah. Shit. It's like he's just standing there, sorry. Everybody's looking at him. The bell's still rolling like it knocked over a bowl at a funeral. It's like an infinite top. What the fuck?
He just turns to everyone. Mousetrap.
So now is when shit really gets interesting, because the fire is so intense that a unique meteorological phenomenon began to occur. There were now fire whirls.
Yeah, and the award for the most cutesy name for a gyrating vortex of hellfire goes to...
Fire whirl. Basically, a flame tornado.
Oh, honey, look at me. I'm a tornado. What are those shoes? I'm going to suck you right up.
So these are created when superheated air rapidly rises, comes into contact with cooler air. No, we're sciencing. We're sciencing.
I wasn't doing anything.
Wait, do you want me to? I gotta go back.
listening to your interesting essay.
There's a script here. Gonna have to read it. Okay. Now these people have to hear that twice, and that's on you. These are created when superheated air rapidly. I'm doing this! I wrote it down and you'll listen to me. I'm important and it hurts my feelings.
You gotta wipe his beard out now. Yeah.
Created when superheated gas rapidly rises, comes into contact with cooler air. These vortexes of flames and overheated gases are created, shooting flaming debris high into the air. And by debris, think of the kinds of shit that a tornado can pick up and throw. Now set that shit on fire. It was that awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we call those California now. But yeah, no, back then, Chicago.
Mrs. O'Leary's cow flies by. I regret nothing.
Right.
Doppler effect on that one.
So that's impressive. Yeah. The flaming debris crossed the river again.
Like it forgot its fucking phone cord or something? What the hell?
Anna.
Gotta get a checklist. And fiery timbers landed on a railroad car of kerosene.
I'm calling bullshit at this point.
Right? You know what? Because fuck you, that's why.
Okay, maybe that car goes out early that day. No? Just that one asshole at work that day being a stickler about the schedule. Like, no, the train car full of fire extinguishers goes out first. It says it on the schedule. I don't know, dump the kerosene in the fucking river to be safe, whatever.
So now the north side of the city is also on fire, and this is not good. Not just because fire is bad for cities, but because a piece of fire landed on the roof of the city's waterworks building.
Oh, Jesus.
Within a matter of minutes, the waterworks building was now destroyed. The city was without any water. There was nothing to do but play the fiddle and watch it all burn. MAGA!
And I'm assuming everybody was like, all right, well, it can't get any worse than that, right? But then a flame tornado picked up a volcano and dropped it on a train that was carrying the world's largest bellows. And it just started blowing. Everybody's like, okay, that's actually pretty funny. Like, that's pretty funny.
All the people in the magnesium factory just sit down and start singing Kumbaya. Fine.
The reincarnated guys from the boat with their cork life vests are just like, I gotta stop being reincarnated. This is not heavy.
All right, so the firefighters were helpless now. No, wait, more helpless now. And the city had just burned, block by block, building by building. The fire burned unchecked until late into the evening on October the 9th, when it began to rain. But by this time, the city was just destroyed.
For Chicago.
Means a lot.
The fire had basically begun to burn itself out, having consumed the entirety of the densely populated areas of the city and then just giving up, pretty much.
Giving up. City's chatting with its friends a year or so after it getting engaged with the fire, and it's like, ever since it moved in, it's gotten huge. It's just enormous.
Well, maybe if the city put in a little bit of effort.
After the fire, people began to speculate about what could have allowed such an enormous tragedy to occur. Now, religious idiots opined that the fire was caused by people ignoring traditional morality, and they claimed that the fire was a message from God to have some basic fucking standards. Many others who considered which lessons were to be learned agreed that we needed some standards, but thought that perhaps one of those standards should be, don't build a city out of wooden matches.
Right. Yeah. Right. So remember, boys and girls, when politicians start promising to cut regulations, we should ask which ones.
Noah's just mad because I invested heavily in asbestos this week. I bought a house full of it.
Yeah, right. Double down. Now, in a gesture of goodwill that I genuinely cannot imagine happening now, the world reacted by sending tremendous amounts of aid to the city, In addition to huge amounts of financial aid, cities across the world sent food and clothing and books and other provisions, and immediate steps were taken by local churches and city aldermen to control price gouging. Public buildings were set up as places of refuge for the city's many newly homeless, and Milwaukee, no shit, sent firefighting equipment. And I can only imagine giant inflatable middle fingers.
Just truckloads of big black rubber dicks with fire extinguishers inside. Here, idiots.
They're digging through the dicks. They find one cow-proof lantern in there.
Seriously though, you're packing up a box for the cause and you're like, do we send matches? Is that a dick move? Because I feel like they need them.
Right. Yeah.
And they don't have them.
They need gasoline too, but that feels, again, maybe sippy cups that can't tip over.
Yeah.
with the gasoline. They're idiots.
Yeah, they're gonna drink it.
They're gonna drink it.
They're gonna drink it. I'm a dragon still.
So the city began to rewrite its fire codes and its insurance regulations, and they decided that now would be a good time to better train its firefighting force, right? Buildings in the burnt-out area of the city were reconstructed in ways that were less stupid, although areas of the city that hadn't been incinerated were not required to be up to the new building codes. More on that later.
I bet. All right, so Tom, when do they plan on rebuilding the city?
Well, the rebuilding of Chicago was a massive... Ouch!
He was going so quick, I thought you guys were going to miss that one.
Right over it.
I'm on their side. Boo.
Oh!
Boo. I'm on their side. Boo.
Hey, guys, just to make it clear here, I'm from Detroit, so if you want to get me back, it's going to be fucking easy.
Ouch.
We have our own Detroit. It's like 20 blocks west.
The rebuilding of Chicago was a massive undertaking, and so much lumber was required to rebuild that the city of Singapore, Michigan, which supplied a large portion of that wood, was so heavily deforested that the land itself deteriorated into sand dunes, and the city of Singapore, Michigan, had to be abandoned.
Jesus. And speaking of abandoning places in Michigan, so you guys know where I'm going with this? But okay, be honest, Chicago, just us here. You guys, you sold those pipes to Flint, Michigan, right? You paid for your new water system with those pipes?
So, I have to say, though, honestly, being reduced to sand dunes in the 19th century would have been the best thing that ever happened to Flint. or Michigan at large, for that matter, honestly.
Not untrue. Interestingly, 3 other major fires occurred on the same day in the Midwest. The largest of these, the Peshtigo fire in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, completely consumed the town of Peshtigo. I just want to say Peshtigo. Peshtigo. Whatever. It can't be there anymore.
Nobody
I don't
cares.
even care. I don't care.
He's right. He's right.
Along with a dozen smaller villages, right? This fire, started intentionally to clear a portion of forest for farming and construction, was fanned by strong winds that quickly produced a firestorm with winds of 110 miles an hour and a fire that raged over 2,000 degrees. Fire whirls from that fire threw houses and rail cars into the air and drove residents into the river, wells, and other bodies of water where they drowned or died of hypothermia or irony. It's not clear. Could be one than the other.
Dive in there. Oh man, is this well full of kerosene? Get the fuck out of here. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. This is a funny day. It's a funny day.
Surprised there were no religious zealots blaming fire in the trees blaming the fire on the trees for immorally spreading their seed everywhere. You know.
So that fire consumed an area of 1,875 square miles. That is an area larger than Rhode Island. It destroyed 12 communities, and it killed so many people that in the town of Peshtigo, whatever, there weren't even enough survivors left to identify the dead.
Wow.
That fire remains the deadliest fire in American history, and it may be the only reason that fire wasn't better known at the time was because the devastation that it wrought was so complete, it consumed all the communication lines in and out of the area, cutting survivors off from the rest of the world entirely.
Or another theory, no one has ever given a shit about Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's also. All right, I want him back. I had to shit on Michigan
Okay.
and Wisconsin, but I got him back.
But there was one guy who escaped Chicago to go to Peshtigo, right? Like, statistically, that had to happen. Some guy showed up, covered, and he's like, and everything's a husk. It's me, right? It's me. Bursts into flame.
The lesser tragedy really does always go unreported, though. If on Trump's inauguration day, 600 million kids died of childhood face cancer, no one would mention the kids.
It only looked like a few kids with face cancer, but it's just the white plastic.
Right.
Yeah, amplifies it.
I had more face cancer kids than Obama. It's the white plastic.
All right, also consumed by fire during the same few days in the same fucking area around the lake, Holland, Michigan, Port Huron, Michigan, and Manistee, Michigan. Fuck you, Michigan.
Yeah, take that, Michigan.
Still true. The Great Chicago Fire burned so hot that a full survey of the extent of the damage was impossible for days after the fire was out. The fire itself consumed an area 4 miles long and approximately 3/4 of a mile wide. The fire destroyed 73 miles of roads, 17,500 buildings. It left 100,000 people homeless.
But to be fair, this was Chicago, so 90,000 of them were already homeless.
We didn't care then, we don't care now. The number of actual dead is difficult to measure. The city coroner speculated that the fire was so hot that the remains may have been completely incinerated, and many were thought to have drowned after attempting to flee to the safety of the river. The damage in today's dollars would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $4 billion.
Yeah, and they estimated that 300 were killed in the fire. That's about 1/10 of the amount of shooting victims here. I'm just saying, when you leave the theater, check your six.
Buy a bunch of our t-shirts. They could save your life like a pocket Bible.
This is my favorite part. The city caught on fire again, just 3 years later in 1874, killing 20 more people, destroying 812 more buildings, and reducing another 47 acres of Chicago to ash.
Jesus.
No, it's because it's hard to vote out the incumbent here. That's why. That's why.
Insurance companies finally refused to underwrite policies in the city if the entire city didn't decide to conform to the same fucking fire code. This fixed the problem because money is magic.
Right. All right, so Tom, if you had to summarize everything that you've learned in a single sentence, what would it be?
That the history of not learning our lessons is a proud Chicago tradition.
All right, Tom, now are you ready to burn through a couple questions from the panel?
Fire away.
Oh, see, get it? Fire away.
All right, Tom, which of the following is another true fact about Chicago? A, the Chicago River is one of the only rivers that flows backwards, kind of like the time dimension at Pequod's Pizza. B, Chicago was the home of America's first blood bank, which opened in 1937, and the Chicago PD has been keeping it well stocked ever since.
Yes.
Or C, I actually love it here. There's so much meat. I've been eating so much goddamn meat. I've been sweating since Wednesday. It's been delightful. And Eli's allergic to the air almost.
All right, Tom. Obviously, a lot of lessons were learned from the Chicago fire.
Do you want to guess about
You
my
want to guess?
question?
You want to guess
answer
before
a question,
Eli
or
jumps in
just-
and maybe
Can I answer
ruins
the question?
entire episode?
Questions
Moving
have
forward.
answers. It's like a whole thing that they do. It's obviously the meat situation.
It's the meat situation.
Eli
Right.
jumped the
Yeah.
gun.
Right.
It's fine. Protein.
All right, Tom. In the edit, that's gold.
Nailed the cue
Oh,
there, man.
Fucking brilliant.
Obviously, lots of lessons were learned from the Chicago fire, and lots of policies were put in place at that time, What are some of them that are still around today? A, rooting for White Sox over Red Sox. B, making sure nothing black is allowed inside city limits.
Oh, God.
C, maintaining a river too poisonous for even fire to survive.
That's true, actually.
Or D, only having 3 weeks a year where it's not too cold for fire to exist, let alone spread.
It's the river. That thing is no. That's a no.
Correct.
Whatever. I'm doing very well at this.
All right, Tom. Lots of great facts here. Which one did you leave out? If the Chicago fire moved as fast as Chicago traffic, it would have reached Wrigleyville yesterday morning. When the city planners heard conflagration, they thought they heard segregation. We had it ever since.
Oh, no.
It's true. The Chicago fire killed the Chicago fire killed way more people than are shot each year on the West Side, which means that if you lit the West Side on fire, it would literally be safer.
Oh, no.
Or D, throwback to Action Park. The Chicago fire actually accidentally kicked Heath in the stomach and he shit and puked at the same time. True story.
I think you're thinking of Pequod's Pizza.
Yeah, that's Kill that man.
Controversial.
Security. I called you earlier for him.
It's got to be D. It's got to be D.
True.
All right, I got one for you. I got a tough one for you here,
confirm.
Tom. After making fun of Chicago a few times in this episode, what's the best way for me to work my way back into the audience good graces before we do the second half of this doubleheader? A, complimenting their genitals. All right.
Hey,
early love for
nice genitals, people.
B,
Really?
pandering to one of the city's many fine sports franchises, such as the Cubs, Bears, Bulls, White Sox, Blackhawks, Red Stars, Blue Demons, Green Sox. Jesus Christ, is this a fucking box of Lucky Charms or sports teams? or C, twerking.
You heard it here.
Make this
You
happen.
heard it here. You heard
Make
it here.
this
Get
happen.
up, get
Make it
up,
happen.
get
Do
up,
it.
get
Make
up,
this
get
happen.
up.
Do it.
Twerk.
No
Twerk.
I'm not gonna do it, but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Damn it.
Or D, belatedly admitting that Chicago pizza is fucking awesome. Without smart-assedly adding at the end, it's just not pizza.
I feel like twerking was kind of a hard fan favorite. It was a fan favorite.
Oh, Tom. I was gonna twerk for you, but the show demands that he be wrong about this one. That's how this formula
I fell into his
about to
trap.
twerk, and he fucked it up.
Damn it.
Boo, I'm
All
on
right.
their side, twerk, boo.
There it is.
Hey, Eli, will you mind twerking for me?
Is that twerking now? What is?
I don't.
No.
All right, well, this is the part of the show where I announce that I'm the winner because I didn't have to twerk or see Eli from your angle. And that means that I get to choose who does the essay in the second half of our doubleheader tonight, and I choose Tom because you fucking killed it.
And I wrote it.
Right?
Well, that too.
Right? This guy.
Me.
All right, and when you hear this later on the podcast, this will be the part where we ask you for money again and all that shit. But for right now, in real life, we're going to take ourselves about a 10-minute break here. So go out, have yourself a drink, have yourself a smoke, come on back. We'll be getting started again here at about 10 o'clock. Or, sorry, I got the wrong time zone here. 9 o'clock p.m. But thank you so much, guys.
Eli has to poo.
They turned my mic off.
So is Eli too good to come out on the same side?
He's a stage left guy, apparently.
We should do like one head, poke out. Oh, we should totally do that. I mean, is that even possible?
Well, it'd have to go.
Somebody's gonna have to knee. I'll go low.
I mean, you think that's gonna be enough time for an intermission?
It'll be fine, Heath.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, but what if people come back late? I feel like that might happen.
Well, then we'll stop and stare at them, and as they walk into the theater, I
Right,
think that's
okay.
what you do.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Citation Club where your wildest dreams come true. Oh no, Eliza.
A gentleman caller? My.
Eli, what are you doing, and why is Noah wearing a boa?
Yeah, and not much else. Pretty much just the
You
boa.
notice.
admittedly.
Today's episode is about the Everly Club, my boys. A business opportunity too tempting to miss. But I see no Eliza doesn't catch your fancy. Oh, Tomblifer!
Oh, hey, guys. How's it going?
Wow, that is your penis.
Tom,
There
Noah,
it is.
what are you guys doing, and why on earth did you let Eli turn you into a turn-of-the-century prostitute?
He hid my cigarettes.
Prostitute. I was already wearing this. This is.
No.
Yeah, just came into work this way.
Makes sense. Is it tied with rope, though?
String, not rope.
We don't let Eli stand on the same side of the stage as us. It's Hello and welcome to the second ever American live record of Citation Needed. Now, of course, for everyone listening at home, it's been a week, but for those here in the theater, it's only been 10 minutes, which means, ladies and gentlemen of the studio audience, we just sucked a week of your life away. Anyway, this is the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts because this is the internet and that's how it works now. I'm Noah Lucians, and I'll be fluffing you periodically through the episode, but I can't manage something so hard all alone. Today, I'm joined by the only two men so large, even masturbating is technically a gangbang, Tom and Eli.
That is just because I can come on my own face. You have to work the angles, people. Get it?
Tom, I told you we can help each other out. It's not gay if it's at the exact same time. It cancels out.
It's not. That's still very
All
gay.
right.
It's like a cootie shot.
Now, for the record, I'm pretty sure we can all come on your face, Tom. And anyone
My
who
skin's
attended
never felt
Platinum
so
Night
soft.
already knows that. Yeah. And of course, also joining us for what will, I'm sure, be a deeply regrettable episode, two men whose sex tapes are widely distributed as proof of Sasquatch, Heath and Cecil.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the one tape, though. It was like a BFF thing that we did together. Suck it. Noah and Tom, you guys were there too. We did the whole thing. We had the picnic. We
nice.
fed each other grapes, the four of us, just the four of us.
Yeah, it was
Beautiful.
great.
Yeah, no,
Just
very
the four of us. That's
best
the entire
friendly.
podcast.
That was
It's
fun.
the four of us.
Four best friends.
Tandem bicycle ride, all four of us on a tandem bicycle together. Just shitting.
Oh, I love visual humor on an audio medium. It's awesome.
Fuck you. Should have come to the show.
Eli just locked eyes with me while he killed himself. That was fun. That's how it's
All
gonna
right, now
happen.
this, of course, is the part where we thank, again, our patrons, because without you guys, classy highbrow comedy like this would only exist in the relative obscurity of a middle school playground. middle school playground, incidentally, being just one of many locations at least 3 of us aren't allowed within 1,000 feet of.
That's also true.
So if you at home would like to help us put new tires on our windowless van and touch up the airbrush unicorn on the side, be sure to stick around till the end of the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Heath, what person, place, thing, concept... I've only said this line like 86 times. I mean, this is kind of new to me. Do it live. And tell us, Heath, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
Today, we're going to be talking about the Everly Club, which, by the way, I cannot find on Google Maps. So if any locals want to help me out, that would be great. Finding the club or being a prostitute. I guess. Anyway. But I can't afford to pay, so just please have sex with me, somebody. Somebody, please. Noah?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Your knitting and gifts are adorable, but if you buy us sex work, you are our favorite listeners. That's locked in. 2 votes. 2 votes.
All right, Tom. So somehow you, again, are going to be the one to enlighten us live on stage. So how the hell did that happen?
Oh, yeah. The topic is a brothel, Noah.
Oh, okay. Right man for the right job.
Yep, that's right.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just glad you're here to give me a hand. Otherwise, this would blow.
Tom's wedding was lovely, everyone. It was lovely. Moving ceremony.
All right, well, let's get started quick before you finish then. Tell us, Tom, what was the Everly Club?
The Everly Club was the most famous brothel in the United States and possibly even the world at the beginning of the 20th century. And even though you might not know the story, I can tell you right now that this club has touched all our lives in ways we don't realize and didn't even have to pay for.
That sounds antibiotic. But that's medicine, and I'm going to die young, so...
Too late.
Oh. Touché. All right, so tell the story, damn it.
All right. The Everly Club was a brothel owned and created by Mina and Ada Sims. Now, Mina and Ada left their town of Charlottesville, Kentucky, and struck out for Omaha, Nebraska.
On purpose.
Such a dumb trip.
I know. Now, with their estate inheritance of $35,000, which is about $700,000 in today's money, they decided to invest in the only currency that never goes out of style: pussy.
And depending on your exchange rate, that can be as high as 1 for $130,000. Give or take.
Okay, but just circling back, if the vagina ever does go out of style, I feel like that's gonna be fun to watch. just like pimps on a street corner being like, I got fish, who wants a cloaca? Starts doing a press conference like Steve Jobs, like, what if you could fit a butthole, a pee hole, and a cum hole in the palm of your hand? New hotness, the cloaca.
After the cancer, yeah.
I have no trend. Oh. I have no transitional sentence from that. There's nothing. How? Okay, so their first brothel was a rousing success, and the sisters, now calling themselves the Everly Sisters, more than doubled their money.
All right, but I feel like if they'd gone with Sim City, they could have tripled that money.
I like it.
What the hell do I know, though?
All right, but Omaha, Nebraska is still Omaha, Nebraska, right? And the Everly Sisters were clearly size queens and were looking for something bigger.
Oh, I am so excited. I never get to hear what happens after women decide to look for something bigger.
They listen to the dollop.
You can just hear how funny that visual bit was. So they set off on a brothel tour, which sounds both amazing and like there are not enough showers in the world. hunting for a location that had, quote, plenty of wealthy men, but no superior houses. In Washington, D.C., they were tipped off by a madam named, no kidding, Miss Cleo.
Really?
Who directed them to Chicago, where evidently the men had money and the whores were substandard.
Miss Cleo was a $2 a minute phone psychic in the early 90s. Glad to see she fucked people for money in her previous career, too. So.
Get on the phone. Yeah, let's talk about your past lives, Miss Cleo.
Now, the Everly sisters decided they weren't going to set up just any old brothel, and they certainly weren't going to try to emulate the kind of establishments that already plagued Chicago. The club was to be located in Chicago's Levee District, an area that was, from the sound of it, a touch low class. The alderman of the Levee District, Michael Hinky Dink Kenna, and Bathhouse John Coughlin, for realsies, presided over the city's prolific strip of saloons and gambling halls and, quote, Bedbug Row, end quote. Bedbug Row is a strip of cheap brothels peppering the area.
Feels like Bedbug Row is a weird pick for a name,
Right.
though. Like, all right, what's the least terrifying rash that people might get? We'll name it after that. We'll name it for the rash they're rooting for. It's like positive.
School shootings row.
Oh, fuck.
Got some school shooting fans in the house. By which I mean white men.
Now, Mina and Ada, what? Mina and Ada instead built a decidedly very high-class whorehouse, like crazily high class. The bordello the Everly sisters created was a mad bacchanalia of excess. The building was a 50-room mansion. The decor was incredible. There was a gold leaf piano in the music room and a library filled with leather-bound volumes, which I cannot imagine anyone ever read ever.
Right?
This copy of Huck Finn won't even open. Who's being weird? Who's being weird? Huck Finn? Really? Huck Finn? Racist.
Jim's not allowed. You know why. You know why. The curtains were silk, there were oriental rugs, damask easy chairs, mahogany tables, and gold spittoons that cost $650 in 1901, 1900 money. There was an art gallery of nudes in gold frames. A 4-piece orchestra played music during business hours, and guests were attended to by valets and maids. Also, the china was gold rimmed.
Yeah, that's the rimming everyone was worried about there, right? What we're saying here is you guys really should have come to Platinum Night.
Oh.
Every guy who's ever told anyone about his whorehouse experience starts talking about how awesome the spittoon was.
Right?
If you're paying all that money, I feel like most guys are gonna want Swallow Tune, right? Like, so just
Or on her face tune. You know what I mean?
I'm actually the opposite on this one. That's weird. I like a spitter more than a swallow. But most guys, I feel like they're pro swallow, right?
Is this the articles in Playboy of whorehouses or what? Like, you know what's holding back the sex industry? Shoddy decorations. Where is the feng shui?
Abigail was great. Knew all about the prostate. 5 stars for service. But pewter cum spittoons? I believe that's a little gauche, is it not? Ridiculous.
I'm still drinking.
The food. Ugh. Weird transition right now. It's a weird transition.
We can't let these two sit together in the future,
I was thinking that. I was like, nope, that's not
Eli's in the
again.
crowd now.
Yeah.
The food.
Yeah, we can't let him sit there either, man. You can't.
No.
Yeah, you think you want that.
Yeah.
The food was equally wildly extravagant. Dinner, which cost $50, about $1,200 in today's money, consisted of lobster and caviar and fried oysters and deviled crabs and ducks and geese and pheasant. There were candles and candies and pastries and chocolates and every kind of alcohol imaginable. The wine was said to be the best available in the country, and I'll go ahead and just leave this here. Also noted, an abundance of edible nuts and iced clam juice.
Their slogans, come for the hooker, stay for the duck all around. I spelled cum weird there, guys.
Yeah, no, you did.
C-U-M.
If I went there, I would genuinely end up eating and drinking too much and just like, I'd be all tired and skip the prostitutes. Like that would happen to me. That would definitely, I'd come for the duck and stay for the nap. Yeah. At best, a blumpkin. At best. Some people know what that is, apparently.
That's where you get a blowjob while you're taking a shit, ladies and gentlemen, in case you weren't aware.
That is a shit blowjob. I'm guessing this place was like 90% Blumpkins. That was their business. Just dudes being like, oh, it's too full. Just, you can blow me on the toilet if you want. I already paid you. Just, I don't care. I'm going to go to sleep, though, on this toilet.
You want a whorehouse to do business? You walk everyone through their old high school and you give them a power bar and some Gatorade.
Now, the rooms themselves were equally sumptuous. What? I got to keep an eye on the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Eye on. The rooms themselves were equally sumptuous. There was one room boasting 1,000 mirrors, or that's 20,000 in today's mirrors. Other rooms had themes, known variously as the Japanese throne room, the rose parlor, the silver parlor, the copper room, the Turkish room, and the gold room. Not included in the article, the erotic pirate-themed Motel 6, but I'm sure it was somewhere in there.
I love this idea, like that's gonna seal the deal for the guy paying for a prostitute is how nice the room is. You could have a series of honeycomb cardboard boxes masking tape together and the guys would still buy the sex.
Some of us
That guy
prefer the
especially.
grunge-core aesthetic.
Grunge-core. Grunge-core. Bedbug Row. The hostesses that entertained the men were equally out of your league. They were, in fact, out of almost everyone's league. The Everly Sisters recruited hookers with the same fanatical zeal for perfection as a headhunter for Google.
So, men? Mostly men? Yeah, that's how it works there. It's a literal glass ceiling with the mirrors in that business.
Just James Damore lecturing everyone on why men are better at blowjobs wearing a Nazi armband, ironically. Well, you see, the key is...
Yeah, gotta keep an eye on him, yeah.
It was a dick and then it was a makeup brush.
All right. Now, Mina and Ada, what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do? Mina and Ada interviewed all the girls in person, some of whom they imported from their previous brothel in Nebraska. And the elaborate screening process ensured that the hostesses of the Everly Club were recruited not just for their exceptional beauty, but they were also required to be engaging, well-read, intelligent, and charming.
No, yeah, in case you want to discuss literature with your prostitute. I get it. Right. I get it.
All right, a little bit lower. Great. You ever read any Nabokov? All right, get the fuck out. I know what you're saying there.
That's a very, very smart pedophilia joke, everybody. Just got a top shelf kid fucking joke, in case you're wondering. Mwah.
Lolita's an excellent book, though.
And they were trained to be charming. Each girl was required to go to what amounted to hooker charm school.
I believe the preferred nomenclature is Melania Trump University. Yeah. Feckless cunt you.
Yeah, their mascot is just an animate non-disclosure agreement that carries around $130,000. It's like big, it's like fucking foam, $130,000 on their hand.
The women were trained in subjects ranging from art and literature to the art of seduction.
That's the only time in history an art degree was actually worth something. So
What? Cecil hated Annette. You guys heard it here first. Cecil hated Nanette. Boo. Email him. Boo. He hated Nanette. I loved Nanette. Cecil hated it. Boo. Blame Cecil.
The women, known as the Everly Butterflies, also had to follow a set of rules. It's basically one of those rules you shouldn't have to have a rule about. Like, these included no drugs, no pickpocketing, no robbery, no knockout drops, no venereal diseases, and no boyfriends. Girls who didn't meet these standards were quickly fired, and new girls who were on a I want to be a whore here waiting list quickly replaced them.
All right, Abigail, what did we say about herpes? Get cured and come back tomorrow for work.
Sorry, who was getting in trouble for knockout drops?
Right?
Just like, oh, trust me, we fucked hard. Yup. With your pants on and everything. And then you shat yourself. That'll be $30.
Are you available for another hour? Or? That was fun.
The clientele was equally well vetted. So again, no one in this room would have gotten a golden ticket. No, I've met a lot of you. Clients, for real, none of you. Clients had to have a referral letter or be personally invited by one of the Everly sisters. And as noted by the Everlys, quote, gentlemen are only gentlemen when properly introduced. The Everly Club is not for the rough element, the clerk on a holiday, or a man without a checkbook. Visitors to the Everly could... Are we booing because the whores want to get paid? Is that why we're booing now?
I feel like gentlemen are only gentlemen when they're not in a whorehouse. I mean,
This show's about feminism. It's serious. This is serious. Everybody calm down.
Visitors to the Everly could expect to pay as much as $30,000
Jesus.
in today's money for a night's entertainment, although the cost for the sex itself was somewhere around $1,200. They really nail you on those upgrades.
Like rust proofing, extra cup holders, I guess.
Yeah. Guy's like, I don't know if I want to pay for the undercoating if I'm providing.
The girls themselves made between $100 and $400 a week. This is an enormous sum in an age when a $6 a week job was considered decent pay. And as noted by Mina, one $50 client is preferable to 10 $5 ones. Less wear and tear.
Tear?
Okay, but at a certain point, if I'm a prostitute, I'm getting tired of Eli pretending he read all of Proust while he, like, shits in my golden spittoon bucket. I'm gonna be like, all right, let me just get 10 dicks inside of me. I'd like, please put 10 dicks inside of me right now. This is exhausting.
You know, the Madeline is a metaphor for life's sweetness, reminding us that is which is bitter.
Dicks now, please. 10 dicks. I want 10. This is the worst. You look that up. You've never read that.
I have two.
Name something else. Hats. Did you say hats?
There are hats in remembrance of things past.
Now, all this exclusivity around the club had exactly the effect you might imagine. The Everly Club was the only brothel so exclusive that being seen coming and going actually elevated your social status. On opening day, the club had to turn people away.
If being seen coming elevated your social status, Pee Wee Herman would be the Duke of Nuttington.
Okay, but is anyone else picturing like a bunch of hipsters camped out front like pussy is a cronut?
All right. Local legislators, reporters, and others who might have the authority to shut the club down were entertained, as you might imagine, for free. Even so, costs to keep the club open factored in the legal costs in the same way that we reserve 30% of our budget to keep Eli out and only under house arrest. In fact, the prices for staying open were standardized. The Everly Club sisters paid over $100,000 in cash, $2 million in today's money in bribes just to stay open.
All right. Well, now that we know what classy brothels this city has, I think we need a quick break, so we'll turn it over to a little apropos of nothing.
want to hide from this one.
Welcome to the Everly, where your deepest desires come true. What are you looking for today?
I'm looking for a blonde girl with great big...
Say no more, sir. Say no more. Follow me.
You guys have women with them bare ankles there?
Oh, indeed we do. Right this way, sir.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm looking to watch a woman vote. I mean, like, right down the ballot.
Ooh, cheeky, but I know just the girl for you. Follow me.
Peas and bananas.
Hi.
Hello, sir. Welcome to the Everly House. How can I help you?
Okay. I'm not sure if you got what I'm looking for, but,
Sir, we have everything here from a pony show to a human library. Name your deepest desire, and we can fulfill it.
Okay. All right. So, I'm looking for a woman. I want to argue with her, and I want to win the argument, and then she does not cry.
Get out.
Okay, I'm sorry. No,
out.
Sorry. Stupid.
Stupid. You want to fuck a unicorn, too?
Oh, it's so hot on the stage.
Can I write a sketch where none of the women in the audience laugh at it?
And we're back. A statement that means even less to the live audience than the one listening at home. So, when we left off, Tom was humbling me with tales of hookers I couldn't afford, even if we didn't account for inflation. So, how did things go once all those palms or whatever were sufficiently greased?
I mean, hopefully a wrist action like this. You see what you missed by not coming to the live show? Hand job advice.
You going Euro grip?
Yeah,
Nice. That's advanced.
I'm not gay.
It cancels out.
Why isn't this over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still a dragon.
Heath and Eli are now pretending to masturbate one another.
Not pretending.
It's an audio medium. I have to.
Now, as you might imagine, with an elite, ultra-wealthy clientele, some of the stories that sprung up around the club are pretty incredible. It being a spectacularly exclusive and expensive club, if the price was right, you could get just about anything you wanted at the Everly. In 1900, crazily...
Or 2018 in today's years.
Right, yep.
It's the conversion.
Carry that.
Math. That's
That checks
simple
out.
math. That's simple math, idiots.
Oral sex, now I got your attention, right? Yeah, right? Bring them right back around. Oral sex was considered a pervert action, and girls who went down were paid 2 to 3 times more than the ones that didn't. And in the Levy District in Chicago, oral sex was almost exclusive to the Everly Club and was in fact recommended by the club's physician.
Physician?
Recommended to the prostitutes? Or like to take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Ask your doctor about dicks today.
You could ask for it at the pharmacist counter under its generic name, Bonesta.
May cause trouble breathing, trouble swallowing, and fatal effects.
Wait. Are we just moving past the fact that these people invented the blowjob? Gee, what do you think makes our brothel so successful? I bet it's our tasting menu. No! Blowjob! What? I never pretended someone's cat had a personality for a tasting menu.
All right, in 1909, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, just go, man. Don't look back.
In 1909, former heavyweight champ Jack Johnson became the first black guy to visit the Everly Club. And although the sisters themselves claimed not to be racist, they knew their wealthy white clientele did not share their enlightened views. But Johnson's promoter was a powerful player in the Levy District, and so Jack Johnson was granted admission. He not only spent the day there, but when he left, he took 5 of the girls with him.
Wow.
Baller.
But I'm assuming all the white guys got mad. They compromised on 3 of the girls out of the 5.
Like, maybe letting a black guy named Johnson into your whorehouse is a bit of a fox hen situation, right?
He walks in, the sisters are like, here, hold this bag of grain and don't move. We're working something out. There's a riddle.
Now, this club was so influential, it's even shaped current customs and our habits of speech. One Chinese prostitute employed at the club, Susie Poontang.
No. No.
Was so much admired for her particular skill set that we basically named Pussy after her.
And the generations of Eleanor Cunt have never gotten over it.
Could you guys imagine the honor, though, to do something so well to have it named after you? After you die, Eli, they're going to name shitting 6 times before noon the Bosnick.
Oh my God, I am so ready for a Windy City origin story in this one. In this essay. It's gonna be awesome.
That's a legacy, though. Like, does this lady still have family that's around? Everyone's doing those family tree projects in 3rd grade. Some kids explaining that grandma invented the twister. And you grab your ankles like so. And then he has to spin you. You can't spin yourself. You'll break a dick off. I'll show you pictures.
Don't do that. It's incredibly dangerous and you will wind up in the hospital.
Now, going to the Everleigh Club was, in its time, referred to as getting Everleighed, which is where the phrase getting laid is thought to have originated. And on the custom of drinking...
I tried so hard to disprove that before I saw that in the essay. I couldn't definitively do it. Anyway.
I'm picturing Lucinda walking in on you, Googling getting laid.
No, this is for work.
I'm trying to prove Tom wrong.
And my wife would have said, oh, no, I get it. Okay. You want to have sex afterwards?
That's right. That's fucking
No! Soft no. So the custom of drinking champagne from women's slipper is thought also to have begun when, on entertaining Prince Henry of Prussia, the brother of German Kaiser Wilhelm II, one of the girl's shoes came flying off and knocked over some champagne. And to save the girl from embarrassment, a member of the prince's entourage picked up the slipper and drank the champagne from it, beginning the rather disgusting tradition of drinking champagne from shoes.
One big fan.
Okay.
One big fan of that.
All right.
One hard yes, ladies.
Super gross.
That's a weird instinct from the entourage guy, though. Is that like a thing in Germany to fix embarrassment? Like, Heath peed himself again. Who has a shoe? All right, all better, buddy, all better. I drank it out of the shoe.
Follow-up question, what the hell does this guy do when he sees a period stain on a dress?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just asking the questions here, guys.
Drink champagne from her diva cup?
Oh.
Would that do it?
I'll accept it. I'll accept it.
Some users of the diva cup out there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, one famous client, a man known as Uncle Ned, was once a year known to rent out the whole club. Think about how much that must have cost. He didn't eat or drink. He didn't request a bath or even request time with the girls in the rooms upstairs. Instead, he would cram each of his bare feet into a bucket of ice, drink a tall glass of sarsaparilla, shout, "It's a wonderful day for an old-fashioned sleigh ride," while the girls danced around him singing jingle bells.
All right, apropos of nothing, I've decided what I want for my birthday. It's official.
How excited are the girls on Uncle Ned Day?
Right?
They are high-fiving like Amazon warehouse workers on an extended bathroom break, you know? Jesus.
Another well-known client was the Gold Coin Kid. The Gold Coin Kid always requested the same girl, known as Doll, whom he paid to have her recline on her bed with her legs spread. The Gold Coin Kid would then toss gold coins between her legs, and she was allowed to keep the coins that hit the bullseye.
Jesus Christ.
I'm guessing he got a little more creative, and that's how Plinko was invented. You guys remember?
When she's leaving the room, she has to be really careful not to bump into any spikes, so the coins just shoot everywhere.
Okay, we're laughing, but these two men are real Americans. There was no Google. There was no internet. They knew what they want, and they got it. I'm gonna put my feet in some ice. You all dance around and sing my favorite song. I'm gonna die at 30.
So there were other bizarre entertainments available, such as the strip whip matches, which involved the girls doing a little naked wrestling, during which they would whip each other bloody. Right? When the aforementioned Prince Henry visited the club, he had the girls rip a cloth bull into pieces with their teeth in a reenactment of the murder of Dionysus' infant son.
Right, no, because he was classy like that.
Nice. Okay, I changed my mind about the birthday thing. I have a new plan. Talk about it later.
So the club continued to operate its mad and wondrous bacchanalia of excess for 10 years. And Mine on Ada pocketed around $1 million. That's $20 million in today's dollars in cash. They also accumulated a vast fortune in jewels and fine furnishings.
Well, and from what you just said about the gold coin kid, you can only imagine how hard they had to work for those shiffer ropes and shit, right?
The cause for the shutdown of the Everly Club is a little unclear.
Wait, is it? Is it unclear?
The club came under some suspicion when the son of the famous Marshall Field was found shot dead. And although it was later concluded that he shot himself by accident, rumors circulated that an Everly girl had shot him.
Yeah, it was this same girl that caught the coins. Her real name was J.C. Penney.
Noah twerking J.C. Penney. All right, good to know where y'all are tonight.
Other reports indicate that a fine leather-bound pamphlet that was created by the Everly sisters as an advertisement fell into the hands of reformers, drawing unwanted attention from Victorian-era prudes. Reformers. Sorry, I totally meant reformers, not prudes. That's...
Oh my God, I've never hated religion more.
Right. Either way, the club was shut down in 1911, though they were given notice and allowed to throw one last party. Because that's how shutting down works. At midnight, the club's doors were shut and locked, in part by some of the police who were, just moments before, partying with these girls. The Everly sisters retired from the madam business, almost unimaginably wealthy, and they spent the rest of their lives volunteering for women's organizations, reading poetry, and probably throwing golden coins into the asses of their manservants.
Yeah, that's the American dream right there.
Okay, so that's Plinko and Stinko. That's fun. A couple fun origin stories.
All right, so if you had to summarize what you've learned in one sentence, what would it be?
That I'm not telling you in front of this crowd.
All right, now normally we end up with a little quiz here, but for the live show, we're going to do something a little different. I brought along these 5 gold coins. No, actually, we're gonna
do the quiz. We're doing the quiz.
We asked the theater, and they said, "Do the
said
fucking
no.
I think
quiz."
we can combine the
They said, "No, that's
twerking
not."
with the gold coins.
They're like...
Stop promising things that will never fucking happen on the live show, man. Thanks.
I can't decide if the dress rehearsal went well or not well. I still feel conflicted about that.
I'm gonna move on here. All right, we're doing a quiz thing, guys. Calm down out there. So there's one other famous saying that got its start at the Everly Club, Tom. Which is it? A, there was an Asian hooker who had tiny little feathers all over her body, and the saying came when you plucked her, chow down. Where's my shit tits? Where's that person? Yeah, thank you. B, the reason they outlawed drugs was that the women required more foreplay because they were high and dry. Popular game they played in the dark at this establishment. It was like pin the tail on the donkey, but with insertion, they called it What the Dickens. And some gentlemen shunned penetration, so they would just masturbate near her genitals or beat around the bush.
Okay, it's beat around the bush, and we're not talking about how I know that.
Yeah.
Come see me after the show.
All right, Tom, which of the following signs was posted on the front door of the Everly Club? Was it A, home of Chicago's best Blumpkin pie?
Oh.
A la commode. Thank you. Pun people. B, the wage gap just got tighter and looser at the same time.
I love that one.
It's a good one.
Good.
It's a real thing that exists. C, it's a literal shower made of literal gold and bronze. Don't make it weird. Or D, no, Fred Trump, we're not going to pee on you. Seriously, stop asking.
I don't want to answer that question. Pass.
It was E, pass.
Oh. Well done. Well done.
Correct.
All right, Tom. What would be the best slogan for an early 1900s Chicago whorehouse? A, the original deep dish. B, the best trenches of the 1910s.
That's fucked up.
Jesus. Had to pay extra for trench mouth there. So. 3 times as much, Tom said earlier.
C, if you want a pizza in 2018, maybe order it now. Or D, quick before there's AIDS.
D. We'll go D.
No, it is. It is a true story. There are AIDS now. Well done. Well done.
Oh, everyone just remembered there's AIDS. Oh. Boo, I'm on their side. Boo. So this is true. A popular internet conspiracy theory is that the Everlys did not shut down their business. They simply went underground and created a brothel deep state that some people believe continues to this day. Who has been accused, don't get ahead of me, who has been accused of being part of or a victim of the Everly organization? Is it A, Natalie Wood? This is real. B, Hillary Clinton as a leader of the Everly organization.
Of course.
C, Manhattan Madam Kristen M. Davis. Or D, I swear this is true, their most famous victim.
Oh, no.
No.
Jean-Benet Ramsey!
That little girl was a person.
I know.
Was.
Yeah, was.
She's not out in the audience.
No, I don't care. I'm just noting it. Okay. Yeah.
E, all of the above.
Don't answer E. He has to beat you. In this one.
F.
There you go. There you go.
Not on there
Oh
that
no,
I don't,
I'm sorry. It's
I don't
not
want to
F.
be responsible.
That wasn't an option at all. No, because you got it wrong. Because Eli has to win this one. Eli, you're the winner this week, and you get to choose next week's. Yes.
I choose my best friend in the world, Cecil.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm glad we could close it on a little love. And then a little hate. All right. Now, once again, of course, we're not going to make you sit through the pitch, but we are going to thank you guys for coming now. Thank you so much. We're going to be across the street at the Red Lion. Also, thank you so much. Also, if you would like a picture, they've got a spot set up for pictures. We will all be out there in about 10 minutes because that's how long it takes me to smoke a cigarette after one of those things. But thank you guys so much for coming out. You've been great, Chicago.
Thank you.